Amsterdam, 1642. In a dimly lit room, a man in a dark cloak stands silently before a giant canvas. The light flickers on his face. Rembrandt van Rijn, the master of the Dutch Golden Age, who is about to create one of the most magnificent paintings in history, the Night Watch. At first glance, it looks like a group portrait of the Amsterdam militia, a popular subject of the time. But Rembrandt was not the type of painter who simply painted faces. He wanted to paint the movement of light, the breathing of people, and the spirit of the times. In the middle of the 4-meter-wide canvas, the viewer sees Captain Frans Banning Kock raising his hand to give the order to advance, next to Lieutenant Willem van Ruytenberg in his bright yellow shirt. Behind them, dozens of faces loom in the darkness, each one seemingly in motion, one carrying a gun, one beating a drum, one turning his head to look out of the canvas. Everything is alive, no one is still. But what has puzzled the world for 400 years is the light in the painting. It does not follow the laws of nature, it does not shine from a certain direction, but it creeps in as if consciously, choosing to shine on this person, then ignoring that person. That light highlights the two main characters, and especially a small girl in a bright yellow dress, with a clear face, holding a rooster. She appears without reason, in the middle of a militia of men. Who was that girl? There is no historical record of her. Many believe she was the spirit of the army, a symbol of honor and light, breathed into the painting by Rembrandt to balance light and darkness, reason and faith. Curiously, although the name The Night Watch suggests a night scene, the painting actually takes place during the day. The dark varnish that covered the painting over time made the scene gloomy, and from then on, the painting was called The Night Watch, as if fate wanted it to be forever associated with darkness and mystery. As the eyes adjust to the strange light in the Night Watch, one begins to realize, behind the brightness are dozens of faces hidden in the darkness. Each face has a story, a soul, and a mystery that has never been fully told. There are 34 figures in the painting, but only 2, Captain Kock and Lieutenant Ruytenberg, are clearly illuminated. The rest are blurred, half light, half dark, some almost completely swallowed by the darkness. Why did Rembrandt do this? Instead of painting everyone in solemn poses, he chose to show them as they were in the moment of real life, chaotic, moving, even chaotic. Some people are not ready with their guns, some are turning to look at the audience, some are smiling, some are confused. The whole picture becomes a frozen moment of life, not a souvenir photo like many works of the same period. But among those faces there is something strange. Behind, hidden in the darkness near the center of the painting, one can make out a small face, half illuminated and half hidden, its gaze pensive, turned toward the viewer. Many scholars believe that it is Rembrandt himself, standing quietly in the crowd, observing the world he has created, the hidden creator in his own work. And then there was the little girl in the yellow dress. The light shone so brightly on her that she seemed a glowing spirit in the darkness. On her belt was a rooster's claw, the symbol of the militia, and a silver bag representing their finances. She was not a real person, she was a symbol. Some critics believe that Rembrandt had given her an image of honor, of Holland, and of the very light of truth that people were still searching for in the midst of chaos. When the Night Watch was completed in 1642, Rembrandt van Rijn was at the height of his fame. He was the pride of Amsterdam, the painter who could turn light into music and turn people into immortal icons. But that glory quickly became a curse. People expected a traditional group portrait, where everyone was clearly seen, everyone looked important. But Rembrandt gave them something else, truth, a painting that was alive, chaotic, asymmetrical. Not everyone was illuminated, and many found themselves in darkness. The militia members were offended. Some said Rembrandt deliberately hid their faces to highlight the 2 central figures. Others said he botched the commission. The Night Watch, a masterpiece, became the center of a rift, a controversy that began to destroy Rembrandt's reputation. Then tragedy struck like a chain of fate. In 1642, the same year the painting was completed, his beloved wife Saskia died. The grief sent Rembrandt into obscurity, both in life and in art. He was no longer hired as much, his commissions dwindled, and his debts piled up. His once candlelit home became empty, with only the faint light of his unfinished portraits remaining. It is said that the Night Watch changed Rembrandt's destiny, both the pinnacle of his creativity and the beginning of the darkest years of his life. Perhaps it was from here that he understood that the brighter the light, the deeper the darkness. And in the midst of that darkness, Rembrandt still quietly painted, as if he were trying to dialogue with God or with his own soul, like the way the characters in The Night Watch are still looking out of the frame, waiting for something that never comes. Decades after Rembrandt died in poverty, The Night Watch still existed, a ghost of a glorious past. But the fate of the painting was never peaceful. In 1715, when Amsterdam moved the headquarters of its militia to the new city hall, The Night Watch was too large to fit on the wall, and instead of moving it carefully, it was cut out. A portion of the work, including the two figures and the background details, was removed entirely, lost to history forever. No one knows why they would do such a thing to Rembrandt's masterpiece. Some say it was because there was not enough space. Others say it was because they wanted to erase a part of history that the painting represented. Whatever the reason, The Night Watch lost its original balance, leaving a wound that will never heal. Art historians later called it the curse of the mutilated painting. Since then, a series of strange accidents have followed it. In 1911, a man used a knife to cut the painting at the Rijksmuseum. In 1975, another person used a knife to slash the surface of the painting 12 times. And in 1990, it was sprayed with acid. Luckily, it was restored in time. It is said that since being separated, the Night Watch's spirit has been restless. The eyes of the soldiers in the painting seem to have become more alive. They look straight out of the frame, as if they want to say something. Some museum staff even say that they have heard footsteps and the sound of armor clashing at night when no one is in the gallery. Is the Night Watch just a masterpiece of painting, or is it a portal connecting art and souls imprisoned in the light? More than 3 centuries later, the Night Watch still stands there, in the middle of the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, majestic and alive. Every visitor stops before the painting, not just to admire the art, but also to feel the breath of history and the soul of the character. Rembrandt left a masterpiece not only of technique, but also of story, light, and movement. The light in the painting is not simply a reflection, it tells a story. It leads the viewer's eye from Captain Koch through Lieutenant Reitenberch to the little girl in the yellow dress, then weaves through the mysterious shadows, creating an experience that is almost larger than life. But the Night Watch is also a symbol of the endurance of art in the face of time and events. Despite being cut, attacked, and restored many times, the painting still lives, still retains the soul and message that Rembrandt wanted to convey. Light exists even in the midst of darkness, and people can find beauty even in chaos. Historians, artists, and visitors continue to decipher the hidden details, from the girl in the yellow dress, to the shadows in the background, to the eerie light that shines on each figure. Each generation finds a different story. Some see honor and courage, some see loneliness and tragedy, and some sense a magical connection between past and present. And perhaps that is why the Night Watch never sleeps. The painting is not just an image on canvas, but a living creature of light and shadow, where the viewer can hear the footsteps, the heartbeat, and the breath of history. Rembrandt, from the shadows, is still watching us through every line, every light, every expression. He reminds us that art is not just to be looked at, but to be felt, to be lived, and to be pondered. The Night Watch, an immortal masterpiece, is both a testament to Rembrandt's genius and a reminder that within each person, light and darkness always coexist, and it is up to us to find a way to balance them.